we'll do the exercise chapter 25 probability. First of all, we'll discuss about what does it mean. First of all, we'll do the definition of probability. So what does it mean? Probability means something which is likely to happen. What is that? Something which is likely to happen. Or in mathematics, probability is a numerical description. What is that? Numerical description of how an event occurs. Numerical description of how an event occurs, right? So one more thing would we like to discuss about that probability is a number. Probability is a number between 0 and 1. Probability is a number between 0 and 1. 0 and 1, and we know that between 0 and 1 there are always a proper fraction. So that means probability is always a proper fraction. These two things we have to note down, that probability is always fraction and it can never be negative. It can never be negative. Never negative and always a proper fraction. And we can write it that probability of an event lies between 0 and 1. Probability of an event lies between 0 and 1. Now see, this sign means equality. That means probability can be 0 as well as 1. So what does that 0 indicates? 0 indicates probability of an impossible event, right? 0 is the probability of an impossible event. So what does that impossible event means? Impossible event which cannot be possible. For example, probability of 7 on a dice, right? And you know very well, dice contains only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 7 cannot be there in the dice, right? So 7 cannot be happen. So this is an impossible event. So probability of this 7 is always equal to 0. And what does that 1 indicates? 1 indicates. 1 can also be a probability. And what is the probability? Probability of a sure or certain event. Sure or certain event, right? So we'll take the example to get it understand better. So probability of a number less than 7 on a dice. And now you know very well there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of them are less than 7 and any one of them can occur when you toss the dice, right? So its probability is 1. So I'll let you explain this example with the using of formula. So see, formula of probability. What is that? Number of favorable events upon total number of events. Rather than events, you can write it here outcomes. It's one and the same thing, but favorable outcomes or total number of outcomes. Now let me explain the same example with the formula. So see, all possible outcomes when we toss the possible outcomes. All possible outcome when we toss the dice is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So how many are they? They are 6 in numbers. So favorable outcomes. Now we'll discuss about favorable, and you must understand what does that favorable means in this formula. Favorable means what they have asked about. Favorable means what they have asked about. They have asked about less than 7. So we have to count how many are there for less than 7. So you know that all of 6 are less than 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. So how many are they? They are 6 in numbers. Now see, what is the probability of that event? Number of favorable cases upon total number of cases. Favorable are 6 and total are also 6. So see, this is the probability of an event of a sure event. Right? So we'll take another example. Find the probability of an even number on dice. Now first of all we'll discuss all possible outcomes. All possible outcomes. Right? So all possible outcomes same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 and the favorable one. So favorable outcomes. I told you favorable means what they have asked about. Now they have asked about even numbers. So even numbers, how many are they? Even 2, 4 and 6. So see, possible outcomes are 6 and favorable are 3. So probability of an event is 3 by 6. That means 1 by 2. Got it? So now we'll take another example, except dice of coin. So find the probability of head on a coin when tossed. So first of all we'll discuss all possible outcomes. That is, if one coin is tossed randomly, so there are only 2 possible outcomes, head or tail. So how many are the total outcomes? 2. So favorable. Favorable outcomes which they have asked about. They have asked about head. Head only comes once. So number is 1. So the probability of an event is 1 by 2. Right? So then we'll take another example of coin by taking 2 coins simultaneously, because in that you will get to know how many total possible outcomes should be there for 2 coins simultaneously. If 2 coins tossed simultaneously, find the probability of exactly 2 heads. Exactly 1 head or no tail, or no head. We'll talk about no head. Let's talk about no head. So in this single question we ask 3 parts, right? So first of all we'll discuss all possible outcomes. All possible outcomes. If 2 coins are tossed, it can be first on head, other can be head or other can be tail. So if first contain tail, so other can be tail or other can be head as well. So favorable outcomes. Right? So favorable outcomes, if we are talking about the first part, they asked exactly 2 heads. So exactly 2 heads are here only. Only 1. And here total outcomes are 4. So probability of an event is favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. So similarly, you can do the other 2 parts, right? And the next part will continue the other topic, probabilities. Thank you and stay safe.